Okay folks, thanks very much for joining us. I'm going to be tying up a stone goat pattern. It's basically a loch pattern that you can use for trout, salmon or seatrout. So we'll just add our thread on as normal. And then for the tail of the fly, it's going to be a golden pheasant topping. So I've removed a few of the feathers at the bottom here. And I've just wetted a little bit to see definitely what direction I want it to go in. And then you can secure it on lightly. And then just run it up to the tail. Personal preference, what length of tail you want. Okay, happy enough with that there. So we'll just cut off our excess. And then for the rib of this fly, it's going to be oval silver. So I just secure that in underneath. And then just run that along. Okay. I'll put that to the side. And then the body. Now the body's usually black. I'm going to use a claret colour. Claret fur. So what I'm going to do is it's going to unwind a couple, right? I'm going to just put on a wee bit of the fur. This is the natural fur, so it doesn't really hold in as well. So I have a few turns to anchor it, and then I can start twisting the bobbin. Get a nice rope dubbing out there. Okay. And you can have it as scruffy or as tight as you want. Okay, so up to just leave a decent space for the head, but I've left probably about 3 or 4 mil there, and then just tie on whatever's going forward back. Okay, so this is a palmered body. So basically I'm going to use 2 hackles. I'm using black and I'm using pink. I'm going to put the pink underneath the black, and the size of the hackles basically extend a wee bit further than the hook, but again it's personal preference, how bushy you want it. So line these up. I'm going to remove all the excess fluff from the bottom. Wax your thread, make sure this is good and secure, and then with the bad side of the hackle away from you, just secure that in. Okay, now I leave that on for now until I've finished winding it. So just work those hackles together, make sure you've grabbed the tips of both of them together with your hackle pliers. And then I normally do 2 turns at the head, and then maybe another 3 turns on the body. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then leave your hackle pliers there and come up behind it with your oval tinsel. And again, many turns you want, usually about 5 or so for this. Okay, secure that in. And as I'm securing this oval, that's another couple of turns of that hackle being secured as well. And then what I can do is I can cut off the hackle stalks. I can cut off the tinsel. And I'm going to just use a wee bit of Velcro here, just to fluff out the body a wee bit. Just make sure you don't use the Velcro on your thread, it might snap. Okay, and then use your scissors and cut off the excess hackle tips. Okay. And I'm going to just bring everything back again. Everything creeps forward. Okay, and then front tackle is going to be blue Guinea fowl. So I just tie this on the way I normally would double a hackle. So I expose the tip, break it off, pull out a few fibres, and tie on a couple of wraps, and then pull those fibres back. Use a wee bit more wax. Okay, and then you do a few turns of your Guinea fowl. So just wide your hands. You don't really need to use your scissors to train the fibres because they're so soft. And each turn, just sweep them back again. Okay. I'm going to finish on the next turn, so I'm just going to pull off a wee bit of what I think will be the excess. Okay, then just tie that down. A couple of turns to secure it. Because you're not using jungle cock or anything, you can then pull all that back again, because you don't have to worry about the bulk. And tie on top of that stalk, so that's tied in twice. Have a look, just make sure you're happy before you finish things off. And then if you are happy, just build up the head if needs be. Got a wee bit extra here. Build up the head, make a bit of a shape to it, and then use your whip finish tool. Wee fibre sneaked in there, but I'll get that later. Okay. Then cut off your thread, and that's your stone goat folks. I would just give that a wee bit of a couple of coats of varnish and a wee coat of super glue underneath as well, and that's a lovely little loch fly. So as always folks, hopefully you found that useful. If you did, give us that hit the like button down below. Hopefully do a few more loch patterns over the coming months. We're coming in the spring now, and if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button underneath as well. Okay, thanks very much. I'll see you next time.